Today is very different. I am building a 8 foot by 8 foot wall for a photo studio, but one caveat. It moves. So keep watching, and we're gonna have fun with drywall and wood and all sorts of things. So this project started with a friend asking me to build a wall for their new photo studio. I had them order up some supplies from this cut list and a design that I found online. Link in the show notes below. Basically what I'm doing is just trying to get it set up, and then I move the top and the bottom together so that I can measure the proper width between the studs, which is 16 inches for US standards. Now it doesn't have to be that way because it's just a wall, so there's no codes. Grab yourself some 2-inch deck screws, and I screwed the corners together. I did measure to make sure it was square. So now I'm like relaying out the wood. Never have wood purchased and delivered because they give you the crappiest pieces, and I kind of was rearranging them to get the least twisted ones in the right spot. And now with the top and bottoms marked, I was easily able to attach all the studs together. So one of the things you want to be aware of, if you're going to make this wall, it's 8 foot by 8 foot, and we did that so that the drywall panels, which are 4 foot by 8 foot, would fit on there perfectly. So you got to make sure you cut 3 inches off the top of any of your studs here, because if you don't, the 1.5 inches of the top piece and bottom piece will add 3 inches to the height. And later in this video you'll see what I had to do to fix that problem. So don't do that. Once that mistake was finished, I moved on to drywall. Use some standard drywall screws, and I measured to get the screws evenly placed. It's just kind of like my OCD in me. And they went in fairly easily. A quick tip here is you can use a T-square or straight edge along the line of the stud so that it hits every time. I definitely recommend getting some help if you're not strong enough or don't have the tools to move the 4x8 sheets around. This was kind of a pain. Now we can place that second piece down and it should fit perfectly, which it did. And we will repeat for the second 4x8 sheet of drywall. So now we're going to make the legs here, and so using another 2x4, we just measured out 2 long pieces and 2 short pieces, and you multiply that by 2. You can use a jigsaw, you can use a miter saw. This isn't really precise work that you have to do. And you place them on top there, and then the other piece on top. And I didn't get it on camera, but you're only going to screw together one side, and you'll see here in a moment why. Now I'm going to mark the drywall because we're actually going to slide that leg all the way through. Cut it out real quick and remove the drywall. You're going to repeat that on both sides, and you can see how the leg now slides right in real easily. At this point, I needed to make it upright, so I used some extra 2x4s and attached to the side. Tried to get it up, and my friend basically said, "Hey, here, let me help you." And so she helped me without me straining my back. and then secure it on both sides. And the reason why we're going to do this is so that the legs will fit perfectly on when you attach them. So we're going to put these casters on. I got these at Harbor Freight. You can see how it slides on real easily. I'm going to center that so that the wall isn't wobbly. Measure twice, screw once. Now we're going to add that extra block on the other side to hold it in, as you can see how this works. And we're going to do that for both sides. We're going to put one screw in just to hold it in place for right now. Make sure it's square and then let it on down. And at this point I'm going to add the other two casters, so now all four casters have been attached to the legs. And I think those casters handle about 400 pounds each. We're going to screw all the way through and put a lag bolt in and tighten that down. We're going to actually do two of them so it doesn't twist. Makes this wall real sturdy. Now we're going to put handles on the side on both sides. You're going to do two. As you can see, it makes it much easier to move it around if you have two handles. Looking pretty good so far. So now I'm going to tape the seam, and I'm going to spackle the drywall with all the screws in there so when you paint it, it's nice and smooth. All done. Only one side. You'll see what happens on the other. Look how close that is to the ground. It's real nice and easy to slide too. This next step, I am going to use some Power Grab Loctite and some incredibly powerful rare earth magnets. We're gonna put on the back side that we will use for putting our plywood sheets on. So the plywood sheets will be interchangeable for the studio, so therefore they can change their walls up. So, kind of cool. We are now attaching the glue and the magnets. I wish I had more magnets, buy probably double of what you need. At this point now I'm going to take the temporary piece that's attached with magnets and line it up to measure so it cuts and goes all the way flush to the bottom of the wall. Cut those out with a handy jigsaw. Now we're going to just take some metal strips. You can get at any Home Depot, Lowe's, or Menards, or home improvement store, and we're going to cut those into little 1-inch pieces. Sand them down so that they're not sharp on the edges. Lay them out, and then we're going to glue them up. All this stuff was marked and measured so that they're all lined up correctly. And as you can see, it slides right on real easily and it snaps into place. Now we're going to install the second one, and if you notice there up the top there is actually two pegs that they asked me to put on so that it can hold until it snaps into place. So that's it. That's the wall build. It's a fairly easy build. Took me about 2 days, 2 half days to do it here. You could probably get it done in one afternoon or one full day. It's actually been a year later, so some of the footage you see is an actual photo shoot that's happening at the place where I made the wall. It's holding up good. Things are looking great with it. If you like the video, hit the like button, hit subscribe. We do this stuff, lots of cat stuff, and leave comments, questions. I'm happy to answer any question I possibly could. Thanks.